Sri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Taranayaka Shekharam Smitamukhim Apina Makshuruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Bibhrati Saumyam Raktaghadasta Raktacharanam Dhyayet Param Ambikam. Welcome to all for this session on Lalitopakhyanam. In the previous chapter, we have seen how Malakasura had attacked the Swargaloka and took away the land owned by Indra and others, and he became the king in the Amaravati. And then Indra, along with the Devas, approached Brahma, who, along with Indra, approached Keshava. And Keshava then told them a plan to churn the Milky Ocean with several herbs in association with the Asuras. And by churning the Milky Ocean, he assured them to get the nectar, which will make the Devas more powerful and also immortal, so that they can win over the Asuras. And when the churning was started, they used Mandaragiri as a churning rod, and then Vasuki as a churning rope, and that Mandaragiri was held in place by Vishnu at the bottom in the form of a kurma, and at the top by himself pressing it downwards to hold it in place. And Vishnu also stood on both the side of Deva and Danavas to churn the Milky Ocean. And from the Milky Ocean, several rare precious things arrived, and at the end of it arrived Dhanvantari with a pot of nectar, as well Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi was received, Sri Lakshmi was received by Vishnu as his consort, while Dhanvantari was holding the pot of nectar that is to be distributed between the Devas and the Danavas. When the Asuras beheld Lakshmi occupying the bosom of their foe Vishnu, they feared that Vishnu would trick them out of their share of nectar. So Malakasura and his host hastened and snatched away the vessel of nectar from the hands of Dhanvantari. Then ensued a terrific struggle between the Devas and the Asuras for the nectar. In the midst of this fight, Lord Vishnu contemplated on Para Shakthi and sought her help, while Brahma and Rudra left the place and returned to their respective lokas. The body of Vishnu, who had been contemplating on Para Shakthi, was transformed into that of most alluring female form, so attractive and bewitching as to distract the attention of the Asuras. They could not take their surprised eyes off her most exquisite form. To their great astonishment and delight, Mohini approached them fearlessly and said in a sweet voice that thrilled them, "Why do you fight? Give me that vessel of nectar, and I shall distribute it." Unable to refuse her, the vessel was forthwith put into her delicate and shapely hands, while her bangles tingled musically and charmed them. They were all so deluded as to become mere puppets in the hands of Mohini. She then directed them to sit in two rows, the Devas in one line and the Danavas in other. Holding a ladle in her dainty hands, Mohini doled out the nectar first to the Devas, thinking that the vessel might become empty by the time it reached them. Rahu, son of Simhika, became impatient and stealthily joined the ranks of the Devas while he was also served the nectar. But before he could swallow it, the sun and the moon signaled to Lord Vishnu, that's Mohini, to immediately chop off Rahu's head. as it had already come in contact with nectar, it remained alive still, and Lord Vishnu, now no more in Mohini's form, vanished from their midst, giving the empty vessel to the Danavas. Realizing the trick played by Lord Vishnu, the Asuras rose in body and fell upon the Devas with intent to destroy them. The Devas, who were now full of vigor and valor, having drunk the nectar, took up their weapons and routed the Asuras, who were weak and tired. The Danavas therefore fled in all directions and hid themselves in Patala and other inaccessible places. Indra thus got back his Sargaloka and his old pomp and splendor, and Sri Lakshmi smiled on him once again. Thus, having described to Agastya the above episode of the churning of the ocean of milk, Hayagriva continued. Thus, in this chapter, at the end of churning of the milky ocean, Dhanvantari appeared with a pot of nectar. And at that time, observing that the nectar has arrived, the Danavas snatched the pot from the hands of Dhanvantari and fled the spot. And immediately a battle ensued between the Devas and the Danavas. And in the meantime, Rudra and Brahma they left the spot, returning to their loka, while Vishnu while meditating on Para Shakthi, he took a female form so adorable that the Danavas got mesmerized by her looks, and then, as she requested, they handed over the pot of nectar to Mohini, the- who is Vishnu in disguise of Parashakti. And then Mohini asked Devas and Danavas to sit in two different lines and distributed all the nectar to the Devas, leaving an empty part to the Danavas. And then again a battle happened between Devas and Danavas. However, this time the weakened Danavas fled the battle, running away in all the directions. नमस्ते शारदा देवी काश्मीरपुरवासिनी त्वामहं प्रार्थये नित्यं विद्यादानं च देहि मे. Goodbye.